Hello, do you wonder sometimes why you cannot feel ultimate happiness and contentment despite being successful? Do you feel something is lost, but you are unable to figure it out? Well, you might be living with unprocessed and undiagnosed trauma. In today's video, we are discussing the changes a person feels post-trauma. Check it out if any of them applies to you. Heightened sensitivity to stress. This is a common aftermath of experiencing trauma, where the body's natural response to stress becomes exaggerated. Trauma can make the amygdala more reactive, causing heightened sensitivity to stress. The amygdala, a part of the brain responsible for processing emotions, becomes hypervigilant, constantly on the lookout for potential threats. Imagine your stress response as a smoke detector. Normally, it alerts you to real dangers, helping you stay safe. After trauma, the smoke detector becomes overly sensitive, going off at the slightest hint of smoke, even when there's no real danger. This means that everyday situations can trigger intense stress reactions. For example, Sarah, who experienced a car accident, finds herself overly anxious in traffic, even in safe conditions. The memory of the accident makes her brain perceive danger where there is none. Her heightened stress response makes her avoid driving whenever possible, subtly changing her once adventurous personality. She now prefers walking or taking public transport, even if it means longer travel times, just to avoid the stress of driving. Understanding this response is the first step towards managing it. Therapy and support can help individuals like Sarah regain control over their stress responses, allowing them to lead fuller, less restricted lives. Changes in trust and relationships. Trust and relationships are fundamental aspects of our lives, shaping how we interact with the world and the people around us. Trauma affects the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision making, social behavior, and personality expression. This can lead to difficulty in forming and maintaining relationships, as the ability to process emotions and rational thoughts becomes impaired. Think of the prefrontal cortex as a bridge connecting your rational thoughts and emotions. When this bridge is strong, it allows for healthy communication and understanding between your logical and emotional sides. Trauma can damage this bridge, making it harder to trust and connect with others. This damage can manifest in various ways, such as increased anxiety, fear, and a tendency to isolate oneself. For example, John, who suffered from childhood abuse, struggles with intimacy in his relationships. His past experiences have left deep scars, making it challenging for him to open up and be vulnerable. He finds it hard to trust others and often pushes people away, fearing that they might hurt him as he was hurt before. This has changed his formerly outgoing and trusting nature, leading to a more isolated and guarded existence. Understanding these changes is crucial for healing and rebuilding trust in relationships. Altered self-perception. Trauma can lead to changes in the hippocampus, affecting how we perceive ourselves and our past experiences. Picture your self-perception as a mirror. Trauma can crack this mirror, distorting your reflection and how you see yourself. For example, Maria, a survivor of domestic violence, feels unworthy and helpless, despite being competent and capable. Her altered self-perception affects her confidence and decision-making. changing her personality from assertive to withdrawn. Emotional numbing. Trauma can lead to decreased activity in the brain's reward system, causing emotional numbing. Imagine your emotions as a vibrant color palette. Trauma can drain the colors, leaving everything in shades of gray. For example, Alex, who witnessed a traumatic event, finds it hard to feel joy or excitement. He feels emotionally numb, impacting his relationships and interests and subtly changing his once enthusiastic personality. Increased vigilance and suspicion. Trauma can heighten the brain's vigilance system, leading to increased suspicion and paranoia. Think of your brain as a security system. Trauma turns up the sensitivity, making you constantly on high alert, even in safe situations. For example, Emma, who experienced a burglary, becomes overly vigilant, constantly checking locks and windows. Her increased suspicion makes her wary of others, changing her previously carefree and trusting nature. Difficulty with emotional regulation is a common struggle for many individuals. Trauma can weaken the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for managing our emotions, making it significantly harder to regulate them effectively. Picture your emotions as a river flowing naturally and smoothly. The prefrontal cortex acts as a dam, controlling the flow of these emotional waters, ensuring they remain balanced and manageable. However, when trauma weakens this dam, it can lead to emotional floods, where feelings become overwhelming, or emotional droughts, where emotions are suppressed and hard to access. Take David, for example. He experienced severe bullying during his early years, which left a lasting impact on his emotional regulation. As a result, David often experiences intense anger and frustration over seemingly minor issues. His difficulty in regulating his emotions significantly affects his interactions with others, transforming his personality from calm and composed to irritable and volatile. This not only impacts his personal relationships, but also his professional life, creating a cycle of stress and emotional turmoil. Changes in worldview. Trauma can alter neural pathways, affecting how we perceive the world and our place in it. Imagine your worldview as a pair of glasses. Trauma can tint the lenses, making everything seem darker and more threatening. For example, Lily, who survived a life-threatening event, views the world as a dangerous and unpredictable place. Her changed worldview makes her more cautious and risk-averse, subtly altering her adventurous personality. Loss of interest in activities. Trauma can impact the brain's reward system, leading to a loss of interest in previously enjoyable activities. Think of your interest as a garden. Trauma can cause the flowers to wither, leaving the garden barren. For example, Jennifer, who lost a loved one, loses interest in her hobbies and social activities. Her loss of interest changes her once vibrant and engaged personality to one of apathy and withdrawal. Increased risk-taking behavior. Trauma can disrupt the brain's decision-making processes, leading to increased risk-taking behavior. Picture your decision-making as a compass. Trauma can throw off the compass, leading you in risky directions. For example, Rachel, who experienced childhood neglect and any type of abuse, engages in reckless behavior, seeking adrenaline and thrill. Her increased risk-taking subtly shifts her personality from cautious to daring. Persistent negative emotions. Trauma can cause persistent activation of negative emotion circuits in the brain. Think of your emotions as a radio. Trauma can tune the radio to a station that plays only sad or angry songs. For example, Tom, who witnessed a violent crime, feels a constant sense of sadness and anger. These persistent negative emotions change his once optimistic and cheerful personality to one marked by gloom and irritability. Understanding how trauma subtly changes personality can help us empathize with ourselves and others who have experienced such distressing events. By recognizing these subtle shifts, we can begin to heal and support each other on the journey to recovery. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on mental health and trauma recovery. And remember, it's okay to seek help and take steps towards healing. Thank you for watching and take care.